This is the Effing One Podcast, Australia's only Formula One podcast with Adam and Luke.
G'day and welcome to Effing One Podcast, Australia's only award-winning Formula One podcast.
Yeah, baby.
It's true. And Luke, I've got one thing to say to you, my friend. The wait is over. We're back. Effing One Podcast is back. We're making Formula One great again.
Yes, we are.
Too much?
No, not enough.
Start of the season. We can do it. We're excited. We can do whatever we bloody well like.
That's right.
We can do what we like.
It's a free podcast.
It
You
is.
just have to sit there and take it.
It's a free podcast, and you will listen to this podcast. And if you're looking for a serious, informative, objective Formula One podcast, we can recommend some. But if you want a podcast that's not afraid to offend a few entitled rich kids, go balls deep and call Williams an embarrassing pile of shit, then roll your sleeves up, folks, and welcome aboard, sailor. This is the mildly amusing podcast you've been searching for. A podcast for the little Aussie battler who's too lazy to search for a slightly better podcast and too tired to last through an entertaining one. Luke, it's time to make Formula One great again, my friend. Welcome aboard.
It's what we do, Adam. It's what we do very best. Very well.
Yep.
And all the other words that I can't talk right now. It's been a while since I've talked.
It's emotional.
I haven't spoken
No.
since the last podcast. I've been walking around as a mute. And
You've taken a vow of silence.
Yeah. I was very parched as well.
Well, that last podcast of ours was so meaningful to you. You took a vow that you wouldn't talk until the next one.
The singing at the end of it broke my voice. And if you haven't listened to our beautiful song at the last podcast, go back, listen to it. In fact,
We wrote a song.
if you're just listening to the podcast, it's your first time you've ever listened to us, you know what you should do?
Go back.
When you go to bed, turn it on, press play for the first episode,
Yeah.
turn it on mute, and
Yep.
just rack up the numbers. Give us a listen.
You know how they have those apps that you listen
white
to the
noise?
music? Well, not the ones that have like inspiring parts of your upper campus, your intercampus, your rectal campus.
Up your what?
Yeah, and they make you smarter.
Yeah.
This does the opposite. If you listen to our podcast,
You wake up with stickers of plank and drooling like a retard.
okay.
Adam, I've done some business cards for us for the upcoming
Have you?
Grand Prix.
We've got business cards
Yep.
because we're going to the Grand Prix. We're going to Melbourne,
Yeah, we are.
and we've. Have you got your? I'm wearing my ID right here.
Yes.
Got my paddock pass.
Yes, we've seen it on Instagram.
Awkward, isn't it?
Yeah, lucky.
And
Yeah.
you'll be joining me in the paddock this year.
Is that like the Daniel Ricciardo is going to be on our podcast?
No, well,
Which
yeah.
you've been teasing.
Yeah.
You've been edging us.
Well, guess what? He's going to be here on the 2020 podcast. I have it from good authority.
Oh, really?
Dan Ricciardo will be joining us on Effing One podcast.
Do you know a bloke called Daniel Ricciardo? Is that the...
Yeah, he works down there. He's in the fish and chip shop. Danielia
Oh, yeah.
Ricciardo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Ricciardo with one C.
Yeah, just one C.
So he's like Portuguese or something.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's not funny.
So I want to introduce you, Adam.
Yes.
You're a family man. You've got 3 kids. How's Hugo going?
He's good.
You've still got your seed? You haven't had the snip yet?
No, I haven't had this. No, I know that we talked about it last year that I need to. My wife's been telling me I need to get the snip because I'm not allowed to go anywhere near her.
Can you look at her?
Yep.
You can glance?
Can glance. That's it. So, no, I've not had the snip yet, but that's in the works. But I'm glad I'm telling you this.
Yep. You're walking tall.
Yep.
So not only is Adam a beautiful voice and the podcaster extraordinaire on this Effing One podcast, he's also the head of the Golden Girls fan club.
I'm the head of the Golden Girls fan club.
Yeah.
That's right.
Psychic.
Yes.
If you go by your tipping
Part-time.
in our tipping competition, you
Yeah.
always seem to win that one.
Yes.
You're a cockfighting bookie. That's where you first got to know Speckled Jim.
Yes. Very
And,
good
You
cockfighting
had very
bookie.
high odds for him.
Very high odds. And high hopes.
High hopes, did you?
I did, but he died tragically. Let's not bring that up again.
In a training incident?
The training... Producer Pete, we don't blame him,
No, not at all.
but...
So producer Pete's back as well.
Is he
still
back
around.
this year?
Yeah. He's
I don't-
downstairs.
I don't see him. Oh, he's downstairs.
Yeah,
What's
that's
he
where we
doing?
have to keep him now.
Okay.
Yeah, but he's in the soundproof booth.
Good.
You're a World War II model plane expert from
That's-
1942 to 1944.
You're very specific. I really like those.
40. What was wrong with 41? Or
41
39.
Disappointing. 41 didn't have the best aircraft, but 42 to 44, there was some beautiful Second World War aircraft.
That's true.
Yeah.
A stockist of Japanese vending machines.
A bit partial to a Japanese vending machine.
Do you stock them as in you just put them on the shelves, or do you actually send the
I
stock
sniff
to
them first, then I put them
You've
in.
got to make sure they're authentic.
Well, if they're not pungent, then
You're not
know
gonna sell.
your typical Japanese businessman, aged 35 to 45, isn't going to appreciate.
Does the
it.
vending machine go by pungency, if that's a word? Is there like a light smell?
Yes,
And
yes,
then
it does.
It gets thicker.
The strongest scents are down the bottom because they can reach them. The higher you go up, the more watered down smell, more of your
Maybe it was only on for 5 minutes.
your femme
It's a
fresh. Yeah,
It's a hint.
yes.
A hint of man bottom. A purveyor of fine trousers.
Don't mind a good pair of trousers, Luke.
You do. You're a koala handler. When did you do koala handling?
Australia Zoo. When I
Australia
worked
Zoo?
at Australia Zoo. Yeah. Yeah.
How many koalas did you handle?
Oh, they only let me touch one. And after that, it was HR. Straight to HR.
He complained, and that's why you have chlamydia.
Yeah.
World-class bottom enthusiast. What's made you world-class?
Just the scope of bottoms that I've enjoyed over the years. The pure number, I think. Yeah.
It's in the teens?
Yeah, and I have quite an eye for narrowing down a good bottom to a certain. If you say, you want a pear shape, I go, yep, I can recall one of those.
And you once captured the Kraken.
Yes.
I thought it was just mythical.
No, the giant squid. Giant squid. Yep. Arr, mateys. It was a tough day on the high
You
seas.
certainly got that one.
Arr.
So that's Adam. Just getting to
Thank
know
you,
Adam
Luke.
in the
Thanks.
first
Yeah, if you've-
podcast episode.
If you've not met us before, if you've not listened to the previous two seasons of Effing One Podcast,
That's what Adam's well known as.
welcome aboard.
Yep. He's not just a voice you listen to, he's so much more.
Yeah, I'm a father of 3 and a man that never sleeps.
No. What do you need sleep for?
Now, you, on the other hand, are a bachelor living in the dream, living in this beautiful, what is this, penthouse suite?
Palatial estate.
Yep, in Nerang. And you, sir, are, according to your business card,
Our business card.
our business card that we're taking to the Melbourne Grand Prix and
Yeah.
handing out to everyone in the
I
paddock.
want people to know us, not just a name. I want to know what it is about us.
I think so. It makes more sense. So, because we only, people meet us for the very first time in the paddock and they don't have time to get to know you. So it's nice that they've got a reference.
Yeah.
Luke, you are a podcaster,
True.
a window licker.
I lick a lot of windows.
Yep. An amateur proctologist.
I have a finger in that.
Yep. But
Do you need anything checked? Prostate, how's that going?
yeah.
You due for one in there? Yeah.
Oh, hello. Wait, hey, Doc, is that the whole fist? Oh, my Lord.
I have thick knuckles.
Good Lord. That's his one finger. My God, man.
That's not my finger.
No. A part-time hand model.
Yep.
You're
Beautiful
an
hands.
occasional jury member.
Yes.
Very occasionally.
Very occasionally.
An etcher-sketcher master. One thing that people don't know about you when they look at you.
No, they don't see it. But
Very-
then once they see me with an Etch-a-Sketch in my hand,
They go, oh, that makes sense.
should see the beautiful figures and colours I make out of an Etch-a-Sketch.
Yeah. You're like Dmitry Kapryov, the famous chess player, but for etchy-sketching. You're that good. The award-winning Hummer. You're an award-winning Hummer. Yeah,
Could you feel that?
that is pretty good. Did the Star Spangled Banner. It's pretty good. It's pretty close. You're a taint tickler.
So it's like once you become a proctologist, it's a natural progression
yeah.
to go into the taint tickling.
Normally it's the natural hobbyist, the hobby for the proctologist.
Yeah, because when you take your finger out,
Yeah.
people feel a little bit. But if you give them a little tickle on the way out, they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, that's not so
Yeah.
bad."
This one's for free.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you'll come back.
You're a one-time porn star, Luke, according to this business card.
Yes, one
Is that-
time.
Okay. How did that go?
You wouldn't recognise me. I was wearing one of those, those
From the waist
fluffy
down?
heads,
Yeah.
those big fluffy heads.
You're a furry.
I was a furry. Yep.
You're a furry. Were you a fox? What sort of animal?
That was a giant panda.
Giant panda. Very erotic.
Yeah. I used bamboo.
Oh, you got me aroused now.
You should see the clip.
The what?
Nothing. Clip.
Do they have
P.
clips on
Oh,
pandas?
video clips.
Oh, I thought you meant a...
No, he's not have a gun.
All right. I mean, the private pouch. The private... Okay.
It's called a
what
penis.
do we have?
It's a clip.
A fish detective.
Fish detective.
Yeah.
Is that what it says?
Yep.
Fish detective?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, right. Fish detective. I was I was out at sea.
Yeah, there's a mystery at sea.
Yeah. I was out there for about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I couldn't find the fish. I asked around other fish. I asked some sharks and manta rays.
Yep.
They didn't talk much, which means I think they're all in on it.
Yeah.
I found Nemo, but
Wow.
I wasn't looking for him.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
An elbow flasher and did a research paper on static electricity and the scrotal reaction.
Yeah, so
Can you explain that?
I'm a very hairy man. So whenever I tend to take off garments, there's a lot of static electricity. And by just harnessing that electricity and jolting your scrotum,
Yeah. You can power a small village.
and you just get a little twitch.
Yep.
It feels kind of nice. And you can power and recharge batteries. That's how I do it.
So that's Luke, and you've met me. So now you know us better. That's on a
Season
business
3,
trip?
episode 1, and you're still listening. What can we do to stop it?
Well, we tried our very best to lose you there, but it seems like you're still here.
Yep.
So we should probably
Talk about Formula 1.
talk about Formula One for a little bit. We got some new drivers and some new team names, Luke.
We do. We have a driver that's returned, and we have a brand new driver. So there wasn't a lot of moving about. Nico Hulkenberg, the Hulk, the talented Nico.
Yep. Well, not that talented. You always rated him, but last year
I did.
was a little... I mean, Dan made him look ordinary. But he can do that to people.
He does that. He did that to a 4-time world champion. Let's just remember the wiping of the floor with Sebastian Vettel, who I think still tanked a little bit to get out of his Red Bull contract. But Nico Hulkenberg out. Esteban Ocon, who
Yes.
was the Mercedes AMG Petronas reserve driver.
He's in.
He's in at Renault
Yep.
to partner Daniel.
What do you think? Good lineup?
A very good lineup. I think anyone with Daniel Ricciardo is a good lineup.
Yeah. I always feel sorry for everyone who's Dan's teammate, though, because he's going to be a better driver than you, but also...
Better looking.
Better looking and a much better, bigger personality. More fun,
Charming.
charming. What is Esteban? I mean, what's he got? What does he bring to the table? He's feisty.
He is
He likes a
feisty.
bit of a fight.
His challenges with Sergio Perez back in
But
the
he's
Force
boring.
India days, now Racing Point.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a good driver, though, Esteban Ocon. Shouldn't be underrated.
Better than Hulkenberg.
Hulkenberg had a shit year last year.
He'd had a bad year. Dan really
He could have got a
wiped the floor.
podium in Hockenheim
Yep,
with
screwed
the
that
rain,
up.
but that didn't happen. So, yeah, Ocon will be great for Renault, French driver. In his team, he'll be able to talk to everyone in French, and Daniel will go, oui.
Yeah.
But, yeah, the other new driver is Nicholas Latifi.
Latifi.
He was Williams' reserve driver last year. He stepped up in replace of Robert Kubica.
We're going to miss him.
We are, but we will be having him on the podcast this
really?
year with a new segment.
Oh, my God.
Robert Kubica.
How did you manage to get him?
Well, he had some spare time.
He's got a lot of spare time now.
He's at Alpha.
Well, he's a test driver for Alpha.
Yeah. He did a very good job for testing. He did
Did a
2 half days.
Did it fastest time of the day.
Fastest time of the day. I think
Yeah.
it was day 5.
With one arm.
One arm.
Amazing.
So Alpha's trialing some new technology because he has to keep his finger out of the
Permanently.
cockpit.
Yep.
So they had special vortices coming off, going into the airbox, and they've actually found they've gained some downforce if someone just drives one-handed with their finger up.
Wow.
Yep, 3 points of downforce, which is significant.
That's a lot. That's amazing.
Because the halo brings the up and
Yeah,
you
yeah.
just sort of splits it.
Who would have thought that an arm out the window would be aerodynamically
And
useful?
if anyone saw the testing coverage of Max Verstappen leaving the pit lane yesterday, which was the last day of testing, he flipped the bird to Carlos Sainz. Everyone thinks it's just a jokey thing. No. He's testing what Robert Kubica was doing by seeing if he can get those few aero points and with the extended middle finger.
So you're saying we could see this more often this year? We might see the arm out the window and the bird, but for aerodynamic reasons.
Yeah, I think you'll see it a lot in the race.
Yep.
It makes the car a little bit lighter.
Yeah.
It's definitely a benefit for the drivers. Yeah.
Different team names.
Yes, there is a team name change, and that is Alpha Tauri. I thought it was Tauri.
It's Tauri, is it?
But it's Tauri.
Why did they do... Because I thought it was related to Alpha Centauri, the next solar system closest to us. But it's still got nothing to do with that solar system.
No, it's...
What's the...
They've got a brand of clothing, Red Bull, and it's called Alpha Tauri.
Right.
It's like sports clothing.
Why have it similar to the Alfa Romeo team? That just seems confusing.
It is spelled different. ALPHA.
But when you hear it, it could be...
It does.
Confusing.
There's the Alpha and then there's the Alpha.
Yeah.
And they're both said the same.
And they're both going to be in the back of the grid.
But I'm hearing from people in the pit lane are saying that the Alpha Tauri is a quick car.
You do have a lot
of
good
contact. And there is a good link that I think they've reaffirmed, or they've the old Taurus, the Alpha Tauri, working closer with Red Bull Technologies in terms of sharing a bit of information, which leads us to Racing Point and pretty much blueprinting, copying last year's Mercedes. So it looks like a pink Mercedes from last year.
Yep.
Barge boards, front nose, it looks pretty similar. Airbox, which they're running a Mercedes engine anyway, so the airbox has to be similar in terms of getting airflow into the engine. But it does look...
Where do you sit on that? Are you against it?
No, fuck it.
No.
If you don't have the money to...
Absolutely.
And the car's a championship-winning car. They said they copied it.
Yep.
Like they used photographs and they've tried to... And it's very difficult to copy something off photographs.
Yeah.
But if they get the concept right, but they're going to have to develop it throughout the year.
Yeah.
It's good to start with a good start. You look at Haas last year, did a really good job in Melbourne, and for the rest of the year was fucking shit.
Well, Haas did the same thing. They pretty much copied a Ferrari.
Yep.
And that backfired. Now Racing Point's doing it, but you can't blame these teams that don't have the cash. They haven't got the money.
I'd be doing it. If we had a team,
absolutely.
I'd be stealing. I'd be going, hey, you're not using that nose anymore.
Am I going to go and steal some ideas from a 6-time world champion team? Yes, I am.
Yes, I will. And I will do it with pride.
And they've got no money. So it makes complete sense. And they're fast. They look like they're going to be the front runners to the B group.
Yeah.
The second tier.
Yeah.
Because you've got the clear front runners with, correct me if I'm wrong, but after testing, this would seem the same. I mean, it was expected that they'd be in front, but it looks like Mercedes, Red Bull definitely, very quick. Ferrari didn't test so great, but you'd expect them to be.
They picked up the pace, but they turned their engines way down. So if you look at Speed Trap, I think Raikkonen was doing like 334s down the main straight. They're doing like 313s. So that's same power unit, but significantly down on power.
Sandbagging
that's not
a little
20.
bit.
That's not 20 kilos of or 20 k's an hour of drag.
Yep.
We've turned it down. We don't want to show a hand because last year they won pre-season. They were world champions already by the end of pre-season.
Everyone thought they're going to win the whole thing. So you're saying that they're doing the reverse this year.
Yeah, whether it's reverse psychology themselves, but Mattia Binotto and Sebastian Vettel said that they have some work to do, that there's some issues that they don't think it's ticking on quite well. But Mercedes did that. They found something last 2 days of last year's test.
Yep.
Now, this year's test only had 6 days, where last year's had 8. I think they'll go back to 8 next year when the new regulations come in, so everyone gets a chance to work the bugs out of the car. But the Ferrari definitely picked up its pace on long runs and was a little bit more encouraging the last couple of days of testing.
So they're your top 3. So you still think Ferrari's in the top 3?
I think Ferrari will be 3rd.
But also, I mean, quite possibly, Racing Point could be there or thereabouts.
They could
Ferrari.
be there, but I think Racing Point's issue is going to be development throughout the year.
Without the cash.
Same with Haas. Like Haas had a car that was a rocket out of the boat, but as soon as they start developing it, they develop in the wrong area.
Yep.
And they end up going back to the Australian spec car to get some performance back,
Yep.
which proves that whatever they're doing is not working. And that could be the same with Racing Point. Sure, looks like the W09 or whatever it was last year, but is it going to be able to do the exact same thing throughout the entire year? Mercedes didn't make a car in Melbourne and then just kept that car.
Yeah.
They developed it all year round for various circuits, for various conditions. And I don't think Racing Point has the technical knowledge to be able to do that. It's 1,200 people at Mercedes. They're not going to have that amount of people at Racing Point, and unless there's, similar to what Red Bull and AlphaTauri are doing, is sharing a little bit of intelligence. AlphaTauri looks good. Renault looks good. McLaren looks good. They're all quietly confident.
Yep.
They're all aiming for that 4th place. I think Haas,
Towards the back.
there'll be a lot more swearing from Gunther this year.
Colourful. He's going to be colourful.
And Williams is a lot quicker
But still.
than last year, but they were they were a lot slower last year. So
Yeah.
I think they'll still be last.
But at least they're closer.
They're-
This is not
they're-
embarrassing.
Yeah,
They might, jump into the top 10
yeah,
and get some points.
yeah. The car looks like a car that won't see out the year when you look at the colour scheme. It just looks like one of those privateer teams. You're just like,
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to make it.
Yeah.
Um,
But all in all, it looks like the middle group is getting closer to the front. It looks like it's going to be more competitive. Red Bull are very, very quick.
yeah. When you have consistent regulations, everything will bunch up.
Yeah.
Everyone will start realizing everyone's little tricks. And the one thing that sort of came about for the testing in the first week especially was Mercedes steering.
Oh, the new steering. You sent me some photos and some videos and
Yeah.
said, look, take a look at this. What's happening here, ads?
Yeah.
And I said, I don't know, Luke. I can't see it. I can't see it. And you went, no, look closer, Luke. Adam, you said, look closer.
Yes.
And there it was.
I didn't talk to myself. I did
No.
say, yeah.
What do they call it?
The
The not DRS. It's
DAS.
DAS, the
Yeah.
DAS
Yeah.
system. So
I think it was dual axis steering or driver assisted steering or
correct me if I'm wrong, the steering wheel actually goes forward or back. When you're coming into a corner, you push the steering wheel forward, which is what would normally happen with your body anyway with the G-force. Your body naturally goes forward when you're braking hard. And that then angles the tyres into a perfect
yeah.
situation around the corner. So
Yeah.
you're losing...
So if you look at a Formula 1 car front on, you'll see that the tyres aren't flat on the ground.
No.
The tyres are slightly what they call toed in.
Yep.
So it looks like kind of like you're pigeon toed,
Yep.
because if you're going around a corner, you just got flat tire, you're going to have tire scrub. You're not going. But if you angle it a little bit, as the weight of the car goes to one side of the car, that then becomes a flat patch. So the full tire is actually going to touch the ground.
Yeah.
So it'll start outwards, so the edge of the tire won't be touching the ground when you're going in a straight line. But then when you lean on that side, when all of the inertia goes to the outside of the car when you go, so if you're going left, so your right tire becomes fully loaded. So where it's only touching maybe 30% of the tires, it's going in a straight line, you turn left really quick, you're going to get that right-hand tire get full contact with the ground, so creating maximum grip. Same when you go right, the same thing, the left gets really loaded.
And the end result is that you're posting faster times, or it's just having less wear on your tyres?
Less wear, aerodynamically as well,
Okay.
because they're going from a toed in to a straight tyre. So you pull the steering wheel back, it straightens the tyres up. So you won't have like an inner...
So you come out of
use
the
up of the
corner,
tyres.
you've pulled it forward to go into the corner, you come out of the corner, you pull it back.
Yeah.
Straightens the tyres up.
Yeah, next year's regulations, 2021 regulations, because they have to tell the FIA what they're doing, what they plan to do with this steering. So already for next year, Formula One's outlawed.
It's not legal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if there was going to be any change, it had to be driver manipulated. So that's why it's in the driver's hands to move it forward
Yeah.
or backwards.
Yeah.
Whether or not it's going to work the whole season, but I think everyone up and down the paddock were like, okay, they're kicking our ass, but they're still coming up with new ideas.
Is this that genius James Allison? Is that his making?
Could be any one of their engineering team.
Unbelievable.
Who's going, you know what?
They have just...
They're pushing the
Incredible.
envelope. They're looking at the regulations going, what can we do to push the envelope? Ferrari have come out and said, yeah, we thought about doing that.
Oh, whatever. Yeah, whatever.
We thought about it.
Yeah, but that's the cool thing. Innovation. That's what this sport does.
That's it.
Unfortunately, it's not, like you said, it won't be legal the following year when the spending caps will be introduced. And then I also heard that they're going to be spending a lot of money in developing their infrastructure and equipment now this year, so that next year they don't have to spend any money and they won't go in excess of that spending cap.
Yeah.
Do it now, get everything in place,
Yeah.
so next year you're not spending too much money and then therefore you stay within the rules. Because next year, budgets are being cut right back. It's going to be, what is it, 180 million pounds or euros compared. But at the moment, Ferrari's spending 400, 500 million.
You know what they should do? If they've got any spare cash lying around, just bring it on over to us.
Imagine what we could do with this podcast with that kind of money, Luke.
Yeah. Yeah.
The food
I
would
could
be
hire
much better.
you out from your wife.
That's right. My
You
wife
will
would
be a rent boy.
happily should buy a better husband. And we would serve snacks, like refreshments. We could have guests over to your house.
If she bought herself another husband, would you get the snip?
Oh, no. I'd probably just have another family.
Have another side family.
It's probably got the Philippines. You and I probably move to the Philippines, podcast from there.
Philippines Grand Prix.
Yep.
Coming at you, 2021.
Hey, there we go. We've got
Ping
some
pong section.
ping pong section. Brilliant. Love it.
I saw a lady in the Philippines.
Yeah.
She had a very short dress on. I thought, phew, shows a lot of balls.
Nice.
You.
We need some sound effects. See, we could buy sound effects.
And we could.
When there's a joke,
Yeah.
there's like a round of applause. Or
We probably won't use that button because there's never a joke.
No. Yeah.
But it's there.
in case something funny
Something
ever happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Pete comes up from his lair, from his secluded fortress of solitude.
I'm not entirely sure what he's doing as a producer, but I can't believe he's still got a job here.
Yep. Well, he lives here.
That's a good point. He's a free producer.
Oh, he's definitely free. He doesn't do anything.
No.
Yeah. But that's testing. That's
testing.
What's happened.
Yeah. So we're expecting Mercedes-Benz to take this out. Mm-hmm. Another one. And maybe 2021 we might see a new champion.
So some of the I'm going to just tell you some of the results
From testing?
Testing.
Yep.
The most laps.
Mercedes
with 903. But they had some issues the last couple of days. They had engine issues for Mercedes. Ferrari got a bit of pace back with 844 laps. McLaren did 804. Racing Point 782. Red Bull 780. Alpha Tauri 770. Renault 743. Williams 737 for Williams. Alfa Romeo 735 and the Haas Holes 649 laps of the Circuit de Catalunya. The fastest by team, Mercedes' fastest lap was with Valtteri Bottas on day 3. That was a 1 minute 15.7. Max in the Red Bull, Ricciardo in the Renault, Leclerc in the Ferrari, Sergio Perez in the Racing Point, Carlos Sainz in the McLaren, George Russell in the Williams, Daniel Kvyat in the Alpha Tauri, Robert Kubica in the Alfa Romeo, and Romain Grosjean for the Haas with a 1 minute 17.07.037.
Yep.
But that was only on the C4, which is the second softest tyres. Daniel Kvyat's was on the C4 as well. McLaren's fastest time was on the C4s, the second softest. The C3s were used on Racing Points for their time. And the rest were C5s, except for the Red Bull of Max Verstappen.
Yep.
He was on the C4s.
There's
a bit of pace in the Red Bull.
Bit of pace. It's hugging the track beautifully around the high-speed corners. Less the slow-speed corners, having some problems, a couple of spins.
Yeah, a couple of spins.
Maxi Boy.
Turn 5 on the second test. So the second week of testing, caught a lot of drivers there. I think 3 cars went through that gravel or beached it at some point on like day 5 or day 4.
Well, let's hope that Red Bull can take it to the Mercedes.
I think they will.
They're the only team that looks like they'll be able to.
Mercedes they're not sure about what happened with the car and why some engine frailties have popped up now.
Yeah.
Which you'd rather have your engine frailties at the start of your test, not at your end. but normally Mercedes are no problems, no issues, 140 laps a day, every day, where it wasn't the case in the last couple of days.
Yeah.
So it throws it open.
Hopefully. And I did put a sneaky little tenner on Alexander to take out the World Championship.
Wow.
Only because the odds were
was
so
his
great.
odds?
Well, only because the odds were so ridiculous.
What were they?
75-1.
Jesus.
And Max was 7-1. I'm like, well, yeah, Max is clearly faster.
Yeah.
But it just takes, Alexander in the same car, who actually beat him when they were kids, did beat him when won the championship
They're
when they
still
were like
kids
kids.
too.
They're still kids. They've basically got, they're prepubescent couple of kids.
Yeah.
One's a brat, one's a really nice guy that prays a lot. Was a
Who's
Buddhist.
that?
Albin. Alexander, lovely guy. Oh, I just watched the Netflix. Oh, have you seen the new Netflix? By the way, just released today, should be said.
Yeah.
I've already binged watched, because today I was on laundry duties. I was painting the laundry. Haley and the kids, she goes, you know what? I'm just going to leave the house with the kids. And I'm like, going to miss you guys. Oh, all right then. I'll do some jobs around the...
Gets the tissues out.
Oh, this is going to be... All
Matters
right then,
first.
sweetheart. And
Then you do the laundry.
And she'd call me and she'd go, how you going? Yep. Put on speakerphone. Really busy in here. Watching Netflix.
Can you hear that paintbrush?
I watched eight episodes today.
Well done.
In a day.
Well done.
I pretty much finished the whole series in the first day that it was released.
So you should.
Anyway, so...
I'll finish off. I've only done 4. I'll finish off the rest tomorrow.
Yeah. So anyway, fantastic series. And Albin features
The
pretty
only
highly.
thing that I wish that they did is, the Melbourne Grand Prix,
Yep.
when Charlie Whiting died.
That's
I
true.
would have liked a little
tribute.
mention, but
Yeah.
it wasn't there.
That's true.
Or even just a show of a black armband.
I'm glad that Dan features, Mr. Personality features quite a lot in it again, because let's be honest, he's the funniest, the most entertaining person in the paddock. There's a lot of boring guys in this.
And he
in
said
the paddock.
cunt.
And he said the C-bomb. He said the cunt word. He said at the beginning of one of the episodes, he says, Netflix a bunch of cunts. They're not going to put this on. And Netflix went out of their way to put it on.
Bravo, Netflix.
Respect.
Bravo.
You're winning the people with that kind of...
That's it.
Those shenanigans.
That's it. Like
Loving
the amount
it.
of swearing you hear from Gunther Steiner.
Oh, and Gunter's back in the Netflix series.
Of course he is. You can't keep that man out of
You
it.
can't.
So fuck them, fuck this, fuck that, fucking wankers.
Yeah.
Shit, fuck, motherfucker.
Love it. And
So,
yeah.
I'm going to tell you this now. I was going to say this
do it.
later. But we have a new segment to go along with Kimi,
Yeah.
to go along with Sebastian,
Yep.
to go along with Robert Kubica's hand in the paddock.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have Gunther Steiner.
He's going to be joining
We're
us on
going
the
to
podcast.
catching up with Gunther after Grand Prix
Little beauty.
to hear what he has to say.
You've organised this?
I've set it up. It's right there.
We are,
Gunther Steiner.
we've said this before. We are punching way above our weight, Luke.
Yeah,
This
we
little-
do all right.
This little Aussie podcast,
Yeah.
this little Aussie battler of a podcast,
Yep.
sure, you're not going to get a lot of factual information.
No.
You're not going to get a lot of interesting stuff.
No.
But it is entertaining.
Oh, we'll give you entertaining.
We get raw personalities.
Yeah.
So we've got Sebastian back.
Sebastian Vettel's coming back with
Is
Skypes
he?
with Sebastian. We're going to do
Kimi?
At Home with Kimi. We're going to have a porthole look into Kimi's life, everyday life.
And Robert Kubica.
And the hand in the paddock, who's going to give us some updates and tell us what's going on in the paddock with Robert Kubica and Gunther Steiner.
Wow.
You can't get better than that.
This what a
For a
podcast.
You,
What a-
you do you hear that in any other podcast? No, you don't.
No, you don't, Luke. You do get a lot of boring... there's a lot of Formula One boring podcasts.
Analytical podcast. If you want details, go to them. Go to
You're in the wrong place.
The Race, a new website.
If you want ideas, fresh ideas, you've come to the right place.
We're going to make F1 great again.
Right place. Just finishing very quickly on the Netflix thing. Great to see that the old stars from the first series are back with the Dan, with the Gunt, the Guntmeister General.
Yep.
And it was funny to see Mercedes and Ferrari grovelling.
It is there.
Entertaining.
What I found really funny was when they had to they say their name and who they drive for or work for. Lewis Hamilton and Toto Wolff were
Didn't
like,
know.
who the fuck what do we call ourselves?
What are we, AMG?
And then Valtteri Bottas,
Yeah. I just think
Mercedes AMG Petronas.
I just think they thought
It's like,
they were They were too cool for school. Ferrari, Mercedes, we're not going to do this.
We don't have to learn our
Netflix.
lines.
We're not going to do this. We're not going to pander to the masses.
And
They're too
Valtteri just
important.
knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
He's a hard-working grafter.
He is.
Doesn't take it
He
for
is.
granted.
But Ferrari and Mercedes have seen the value in Netflix and now are going out of their way to be part of it, which
Yeah.
I think is hilarious because they had nothing to do with the first series.
Yep.
And I think Netflix is clever in that they haven't just forgotten the people that made the first series
Oh,
special.
yeah.
They brought them along.
Yep. It's the
And,
personalities.
it
and that's because we don't always see that in a Grand Prix weekend.
That's what we love.
And that's what you need.
Because we see the racing, that's they show highlights of the race. That's fine. We've seen that, but you don't see behind the scenes because they get incredible access to these drivers.
And it helps the when there's personalities, when there's drama,
Absolutely.
that helps, for both sexes.
And
You
it
know,
also-
women start to watch.
It absolutely does. It wins more people from the general public.
someone
that-
to root for.
Absolutely. They may not have an interest in Formula One, but they might like the personality of Dan or the story of Alexander Albon or whomever and go, I might start following this sport because I now feel like I know these drivers. I'm
Do you
part of
see
it.
Daniel's testing helmet? An homage to Kobe Bryant?
I did.
Yep.
But he's going to go back to the...
He's got a new helmet. It won't be the pink
It's not
one.
the pink and the blue one.
No,
He's got a new one.
He gave us a sneak peek. It was like a grey camo with a lime green.
Hmm.
Looks good. Looks interesting. I think Jack Aiken brought out a helmet, and it's very Daniel-esque in
Is it?
terms of design and
Not
being
surprising.
obscure.
People trying to copy Dan
And
Ricciardo.
the thing he had on the side of his helmet, it says "Stop being them." Don't
Yeah,
copy him.
Don't copy.
I like Jack, but
Yeah, but don't rip someone off.
it's not exactly. But it is
Don't rip-
outside the box.
Don't rip someone off unless you're Alpha or Racing Point. Then that's what you do.
Well, I think if anyone should be doing it, should be Williams.
Yeah. They're too proud. They're
Don't. Put your pride aside.
Absolutely.
Take a swallow of the humility pill.
Yes.
And just go to Ferrari, get the tracing paper, put it over the side of it, and just
Yes,
start scratching
Luke.
it out.
Exactly.
Then go back to them in the factory. Go, this is it.
Look, we got it. We stenciled it. We stenciled the Mercedes. That's Hey, Claire, let's make this.
There's like 3 people in the office.
Yeah. There's no one here.
There's no one here.
We can't afford a new one.
It's an echo.
There you go.
What do we got coming up next?
Oh, wait.
Oh,
Before we go, I just want to mention...
we're not going anywhere. We've got heaps to go through.
we're not wrapping up?
No.
Oh, good. I thought we'd wrap
Jesus
up.
Christ.
Don't wrap this up. I'm having too much fun. Expectations. What are you most looking forward to this year? I'm asking you now, Luke. What are you most looking forward to? And a prediction.
A prediction. I think Max Verstappen will win the World Championship.
Oh,
That's my prediction.
I don't think that's a crazy one. I like it. Highly probable.
I think what's another? What's the other
Excited.
question?
What are you
am I
excited
excited for?
about seeing?
I'm excited for Melbourne. I'm excited to get it started. This is probably
Are you excited about your pit pass? Your paddock pass?
I'll be excited once I see it.
Yeah.
Once it's real.
Yeah.
I'm more than happy to do one in crayon and put it around my neck and just follow you in like nobody knows.
Don't
Act
know.
confident. That's all I'll do.
Yes.
Security guards, here's
Yeah.
a donut and walk on in.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to say no to a donut. The security guards. Have you seen the guys
No.
there? But I'm excited for to see what happens. I think the field will be a lot closer. I think the racing will be much closer.
Yes.
That always happens just before a big regulation change, and I think the midfield is going to be on top of each other, and it's going to be down to thousandths of a second, hundredths of a second to make sure you get the right position on the grid, and the team battles are strong. There's a lot of strong drivers there. You can't really go, that guy's a paid driver.
Yeah.
You can't.
No. I too am very excited about seeing the battle of the midfield in particular. Who's going to come out on top?
Who's going to come out of Lando and Carlos? Carlos is on fire.
I think Lando will. I think Carlos got lucky. I don't think he's that great. I think Lando's a better prospect. I think he's a bigger talent. I think he'll come good this year.
Chili
I think
Carlos.
I think he'll smash him. I think he'll smash him. Well, he beat him in head-to-head qualifiers by 1.
11 to 10, yes.
But I think Carlos got more points over the season.
A lot more
But
points.
I think Lando
had a bit of bad luck, had some reliability
some bad
issues,
luck.
especially in Spa.
Yeah. My prediction is that come the halfway mark of this year, Dan Ricciardo will be wearing red for 2021.
Oh!
You heard it here.
Does he want to go to Ferrari, though?
I think you don't turn that down if you're driving a yellow Renault. I think if you're driving a Renault and the only option is a red car,
With Charles Leclerc?
he'll beat Charles. He'll beat him. Absolutely beat him. He's headstrong, and Sebastian's...
He's got big dick energy, too.
Look, it means nothing to beat Sebastian if he's your teammate. Look how many teammates Sebastian's had and has been walloped by. Every single one except Mark Webber. Except Webber. Which just goes to show that your man Webber, as much as we love him, wasn't that great after all.
Fuck off.
Wasn't that great?
No, you'll have to
I-
exit this house in a body bag, my friend.
I'm
You will
sorry.
not take it off Mark Webber.
I take it back. I take it back.
You
Well, let me
damn
go
right
back
you
5
will.
seconds and live in that
Mark
time.
Webber is a god.
Mark Webber is a god. Just not a very fast one. So, moving on very
Yes.
quickly. Big news. Big news. Corona.
Corona.
Corona is a tasty beverage.
My Corona.
Beer sales have gone down because of a little virus that's going around, thanks to China.
It's very small.
Very small virus. You can't see it.
Microscopic.
Microscopic. And we're on the edge of a pandemic, apparently. So Chinese Grand Prix has been cancelled. The Chinese GP...
Is it cancelled or postponed?
I thought it was cancelled.
Okay.
But it could be... I can't see it happening. Good news is... Bad news is some people are dying. Sure.
There's a lot of people dying.
There's a lot of people dying. And
But
it's...
a lot of people die every day.
Exactly.
Not clean drinking water.
Thank
Dead.
you. Dead.
Yep, tsunami.
Yep.
Dead. That's also
That's
bad.
bad. AIDS is bad. Lots of stuff is bad.
AIDS is all right.
You could die pretty much doing anything.
That's it.
Hugs, warm hugs. If you have too many, you can die.
Really?
Anything.
I should have put that on the business card.
Everything in moderation, Luke.
Oh, of course.
Everything in moderation. So
To only have one hit of heroin every day.
we have an idea that this terrible coronavirus, horrible that it is, encompassing the world. There may be a flip side. There may be a good thing that come out of it. The Melbourne GP is going ahead. We
Yep.
know that.
Guaranteed.
There's no guarantee that the next race will go ahead. What's the next race scheduled to be?
Bahrain.
Bahrain. There's no guarantee because Corona's in Iran, pretty bad. In Europe now. In the US. Australia's pretty much been untouched. New Zealand's definitely been untouched.
We've had a few here.
There's a couple of cases.
Yeah.
But there's a good chance that none of the drivers or teams will be able to leave Australia after the Melbourne Grand Prix.
And they're all going to be on our podcast then.
And they're going to all be on our podcast. We may have... This is a possibility. The Formula One season, the 20 races, may have to all be hosted in Australia for the 2020 season.
We've come up with a contingency plan that will host
That's the best thing about this podcast, Luke.
the World Championship in our country, in
Right.
our continent.
Yeah, we are making Formula One great again. We are thinking ahead of the game.
Yeah.
We're planning ahead.
Everyone's reactive. We're proactive here. We're thinking, right, we've got these things
We're
in
not
place.
wearing a face mask.
No.
We're not washing our hands. No, we're
We've
not.
never washed
Give
our
me your
hands.
hand. Give me your hand right now. I'm touching it, and now I'm touching my face. See that? I didn't really.
He's not touching
I didn't
his
really.
face.
But
He's a germaphobe.
Have you got any hand wash?
sanitizer, no.
Is it okay?
No, we don't use
I'll just
sanitizer
I'll
stuff.
just wipe it on this sofa.
Wipe it on your crotch.
down the crotch.
It's the cleanest point you've got.
That'll sanitize anything.
So yeah, we've got tracks all around the country.
We've got a lot of tracks.
We've got great tracks
Do we
like
have 20?
Bathurst.
20 tracks?
We don't have 20. No,
No.
that's stupid.
It's okay.
Who has 20 tracks?
We
in
could
the
do
country?
we could do a mixture of like big tracks and go-kart tracks.
That's ridiculous. But I like the idea.
But I love what you're thinking. I love what you're thinking.
That's stupid, but genius at
Brilliant.
the same time.
We put a Formula One car on a go-kart track.
Yep.
For the
Shortest lap ever.
for the 10 that we haven't got racing tracks. We've got
Yeah.
10 racing tracks. We don't have...
End to end, no one can actually get around each other.
Correct.
So
It's-
coming to Kingston Park.
It's like Monaco. It's pretty much 10
Yeah.
Monacos.
Yeah. So we've got, in West Australia, we've got Barbagallo,
Yep.
a good racetrack, the V8 Supercars.
That's race 2 after Melbourne.
Would you go to Perth straight away?
Yeah, I think so.
You would? You'd
Yeah.
go to Perth?
I like Perth.
All right.
Yeah,
Good
mix it up
choice.
a bit.
All right.
Is there
Go to-
something in Adelaide?
There's a couple of tracks.
Okay.
In Adelaide, there's the Bend,
Yep.
which is a famous track out there, and there's also the Adelaide Street Circuit,
Of course, the
which
old Adelaide
used to be
Street
the Australian
Circuit.
Grand Prix.
Finally, Adelaide Adelaideans
Can have their Grand Prix.
could stop whining about losing
That's
their
all
Grand Prix.
they do. They sit and they whine.
There's nothing else to do in Adelaide.
No.
I mean, per capita, the most number of churches per capita in the world, there's a lot of churches, and there's a deep hatred of Formula One.
I think they said a deep hatred of churches.
And churches, yes. Yes.
Then got Northern Territory.
What do they got up there?
They got Hidden Valley.
Hidden Valley.
Beautiful circuit.
Oh, it's like a Mario
It's
Kart
next to a
track.
drag
That's
strip.
what it sounds like, a Mario Kart
There's a
track.
drag strip in the middle of it.
Fuck off.
Yeah, just like Hockenheim,
Yeah.
but not as wet.
Brilliant.
We could
Alice
have.
Springs?
We could have
Over
one
the rock.
around the rock.
Uluru.
We can't go over the rock anymore.
No, that's... We can't step
It's
foot
a
on
rock. It's a very precious rock.
It is. So we go
to
around it.
Indigenous people. So we go around it very loudly, burning a lot of fossil fuels.
Yeah.
And we're not going to pave it. It's just going to be the red dirt.
Just pure red dirt.
Yeah.
Genius. Then we move across to the eastern suburbs, states.
So Townsville.
Townsville, what do they got up there?
There's a racetrack in Townsville. So
Perfect.
it's a street circuit. They race the V8s up there.
Yep.
Then come down the road a little bit. What do you got? Ipswich.
Ipswich.
The
Bang.
Paperclip. One of the most dullest racetracks there is.
Still, we'll have to use it though.
Of course we do.
We're gonna
We've got to
use
make up the numbers.
Yeah.
It's flat. It looks like a paperclip and it's dull. But V8s love going round and round.
Yeah.
The next track, our track, the Nerang Grand Prix, the Monaco of the Gold Coast.
Monaco of the Gold Coast. This is our opportunity.
This is when
This is it.
all this planning, all these signatures,
Do you believe in fate, Luke?
all this bribing of officials
Local officials with
has
paper
all
bags.
come to this moment where we host a Formula 1 Grand Prix because the rest of the world will be in lockdown.
Yep.
You can't leave. You can't come in. Poor Vietnam.
They'll have no choice.
No,
Zandvoort,
sorry.
gone.
Spa, sorry.
Vietnam, gone.
Suzuka, nah.
We're going to tour Australia with every
Can't
single...
even go to Malaysia.
No, Formula One races only in Australia for 2020.
Yep.
That's our prediction.
Yep.
And we're ready. We've got the things in place to make it work.
And we've got Sydney Motorsport Park. We've got
Phillip Island,
Bathurst,
Phillip
Phillip Island.
Island.
Good track. I'd be like a Mugello.
Yeah.
That's how good
And
that track is.
and the Nerang GP, the Monaco of the Gold Coast, as you so poetically put it, just slips so beautifully in there with that assortment of
Tasmania even has
tracks.
one.
Tasmania has tracks. So,
We're ready.
good news.
The whole
We
of
are ready.
Australia is ready, and
Australia
you
is
can
ready to
only watch it
host.
on TV. You can't come over here and watch it.
No.
You got to watch it at home.
Yep.
We'll be there.
Yeah. And yes, the races will be at the worst possible time for you in Europe and the States. We apologise. But now you know what it feels like for us,
But if
motherfuckers.
everyone at the side of the track brings their iPhones and turns the lights on, I think we'll be fine.
Yep.
We could have a night race.
Couple of night races, which would coincide nicely with the timing in Europe and America.
Yep. See, we're thinking of you. Or we do it, or a race like first thing in the morning.
Yep.
So it's late night in the UK and Europe,
Yep.
and it's sort of
So we will be taking
afternoon, evening.
all of these tracks, everything that we've spoken about now, in a sealed duffel bag to the Melbourne GP, where we will then have.
We left the suitcase behind the last place, so we've got to go to the duffel.
We did. We're going to go to the duffel bag.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have a sit-down meeting. They're not aware of this yet, but once the lockdown happens, we are ready. We'll go chase.
So
We're
we've
here,
got
buddy.
an emergency situation here. Here's your emergency duffel bag.
Yeah.
This is your contingency plan for the rest of the year.
In case of emergency, pull this strap.
And you know what? We're going to be featured on the next Netflix documentary series.
Yeah.
Because we'll be coming up with all the Grand Prix ideas and where they need to go.
We are going to play a very big role in the next
Yeah.
Netflix series.
Yep.
Every single race will be there.
Yep.
Because Will Buxton, those guys, they're... Oh, no, they'll be stuck here as well, won't they? Bugger.
No, we'll
From Melbourne, he'll be here.
we will ship off Crofty.
Yes. Yes.
So Crofty,
Crofty.
fuck off.
Oh, Crofty, coronavirus, there's a cure now. Here's your shot. See you later, buddy. Why am I the only one that's going? Oh, trust me. Trust me.
Why is that shot full of air bubbles and why do I feel woozy?
Yeah, you'll be fine, Crofty. Don't worry
Yeah.
about it.
See you, mate.
Just good luck, mate.
Yeah.
Bye. And then we'll take over.
Yeah.
Good news.
That's where the real fun starts.
So
So
there-
coronavirus, yep, Heaps of people dying.
Don't
Not
worry about
good.
it.
But
Don't worry about it.
we have it covered.
We have it covered here at Effing1 Podcast. We have the coronavirus under wraps. We've got a contingency plan. And in a case of emergency...
Hopefully, just in time, pandemic strikes.
Yeah.
As long as everyone's safe and happy and healthy. If you're old and brittle, you're probably fucked.
I mean, what is the one upside to a global pandemic and people dying in the millions? There's an upside.
Narang Grand Prix.
The Narang Grand Prix. The Monaco of the Gold Coast.
What a beautiful, beautiful moment. Another thing that I want to do for this year is the one thing I really appreciated that you did last year is it was a bit about Max Verstappen. I know how much you hate Max Verstappen.
Oh, just saying that name
We're
just makes me want to vomit in my mouth.
gonna give you back Adam's Conspiracy Corner.
Is it just to do with Max?
Anything you want.
Okay.
If you have a conspiracy about Formula One,
Or a grudge?
you're going to bring it in and you were going to go. We'll play the X-Files music.
All right. Oh, that sounds nice.
Adam's
Okay.
Conspiracy Corner.
I like that.
And we're bringing a thing called, well, everyone's heard of Uber.
Yes.
When you're an Uber driver or you're an Uber passenger, you have a rating. And people rate you. So we're
Yep.
going to give every driver, they're going to
Yep.
start the season with 5 stars. And as the season goes on, we'll give them ratings after each Grand Prix. And at the end of the year, we'll see who has 5 stars by the end of it. I dare say no one will have 5 stars.
And how does that relate to the Uber driver? Oh, just because they've got 5 stars like
Yeah,
an Uber
that's-
driver does.
That's only it.
Okay, that's the
they're
only
not-
link.
They're not driver sharing. They're not
No.
ride sharing.
No.
It's just
We're not voting for our favourite
the
Uber
rating.
driver.
And if Uber wants to sponsor the podcast, by all means,
Feel free.
give us a shout.
Naming
out.
rights.
Yeah. This
I
could
like-
be the Uber Effing1 podcast.
So when you have completed a race, we will give you an Uber rating for your race.
Yep.
I like it.
Every driver gets an Uber rating.
And by the end, and you average those Uber rating, and then by the end of the year, we give
Who's
you
the best driver?
Who's the best driver? According to the
And the shittest.
Genius.
There's still the Turd Championship, the Reverse Championship, and we have new awards.
We've got new awards.
We've got one new award to
Oh.
go with the Green Award, which is
The Green Award, the environmental award for the smallest number of, carbon emissions or footprint.
lowering your carbon footprint.
Yep.
Then we've got the F1 Podcast Award, so any driver team that has made Formula One great again.
Yep.
The Lickett and Sendit Award for the best overtaking manoeuvre of the Grand Prix.
Yep. That
The
stays.
Pasta Maldonado Award for craziest driver.
Good.
Dangerous driving.
Hate to see that leave. We need to keep that.
Had to keep
Got
that in.
Keep the good ones.
And the UGE Day Award for wasting everyone's time.
That's gotta stay.
and turning up. But the final one, which it's an F1 Podcast exclusive award, as are the others. This is the Speckled Jim Award.
Oh, the Speckled Jim Award. Still so fresh. Oh, that little fella.
His corpse isn't.
No, he's been cremated.
Well, we did cook him in the oven.
When I say cremated, you cooked him, and your cooking is pretty much like cremating something.
Yeah.
You
Gotta make
cook
sure.
it, you burn it.
You don't want to undercook a chicken, mate.
No,
No one wants a chicken medium
Especially
rare.
one that's been spending his whole life hand reared by Pete.
But he was very tender from all the pummeling he got from that dippy bird.
He was a tender meat. He was the way you honey glazed him with your. My God, he was a tasty.
That's good glazing.
That was a tasty cock. Sorry, I'm sorry.
So the award, the Speckled Jim Award, the reason of the award, what it's awarded for, is for someone who's trying hard.
Who
So
gets beaten down?
They're not overtaking anyone. They're trying. They make mistakes.
They show the fighting spirit.
That's it.
They
the,
get back
the
up.
Speckled Jim fighting
They
spirit.
keep getting knocked down, and they're not smart enough to know when they're being defeated and when they should just roll over. They keep getting up, and they keep getting like Williams got the Williams. They turned up for 20 races last year. That team, Williams team.
Well, they didn't try though.
For what reason did they turn up?
Yeah.
They kept getting knocked down, but they kept coming back. Genius.
Yeah.
I like it. The Speckled Jim Award. It's a lovely tribute to our very good friend, Speckled Jim, the fighting cock, of whom, what was his track record in the fighting cock arena? Was it 0-25?
Oh no, it was a lot more than that. He had a lot more fights than that.
Yeah, he didn't win one.
No.
Every time he came back from a cockfight, he came back bloodied and depressed.
So Speckle Jim's statistics.
I can't believe
Statics?
you've got them right at hand.
Of course I do.
You just happen to have
So,
Speckle Jim's stats right
so
there in your
Speckle
phone.
Jim, born the 12th of January 2018,
Wasn't
died 26th of September 2019.
What a lovely day that was when he was
Um,
born.
It was. It was a magical day.
I looked at you. You looked at me.
When he cracked his head out of that egg
Yeah.
and just kind of limped to the side.
Yeah.
We weren't sure what was happening there,
No.
but he grew to be quite a strong cock. Career fights, 128.
128 fights.
Wins,
0.
One.
1.
yes. That other rooster died of natural causes.
That's true.
In the ring,
he had
so
a heart attack.
that
Yeah, he had a heart attack. That
Yeah.
other cock.
yeah, that rooster
Yeah.
was the other rooster was 13.
Yeah, he was an odd,
And-
very odd cock.
It's just a matter
Yeah.
of time. Just by
Yeah.
chance, Speckle Jim was in the
He was
arena.
so old, like the testicles were actually drooping on the ground.
His neck testicles.
Yeah.
So yeah, he has 127 losses. We did celebrate his birthday in January. It's very nice.
Yeah, well, we do normally get together when we for his anniversary death. We get together. We have a quiet moment. We sit here. We have honey chicken.
Chicken chips, chicken salt.
Yep. We go through some old videos of his cockfights.
That was some bloody bad cockfights.
Yeah, he never.
I haven't seen a cock tatter beating like that since. When's the last time you had a wank?
A couple of days ago.
Yeah, live streamed. Get on his YouTube channel.
Yeah, gosh, so many memories. Anyway, we should move on. About Speckle Jim.
What's your favourite memory of Speckle Jim?
Oh gosh, there's so many, Luke. How do you just choose one? How do you choose this one? I think his very first fight, Luke. His very first fight when he was so scared.
He pissed himself.
And you were shouting at him. You were saying, Speckle Jim, don't be so scared. Look, if you don't win this, we will not feed you. And you were shouting at him. And he looked at me like he was...
With his one good eye.
With his one good eye. And the other eye was... I'm not sure if he was looking at me, to be honest. But I think he looked at me and he said... Which I took to say...
Rough translation.
Take me home, I don't want to be here. And we watched him get pummeled.
Yeah,
But we bought him an ice cream on the way home.
yeah, he loved that. Yeah.
I think that very first
See,
fight...
if it wasn't for his fighting spirit, if it wasn't for him trying,
No.
he was petrified. He was shaking at the knees,
Hmm.
and that beautiful cock just stood there proudly as he took blow after blow.
Fully erect. Just proud. A proud cock with his head up high.
Yeah,
Oh.
featherless cock,
But
just taking blow after blow.
he could take multiple blows. He could come again and again.
He had,
would keep
he had
coming.
fast hands,
He had-
fast feet,
He would keep coming.
but he kept losing.
Yep.
So
We laugh because it's just good memories.
good to remember him.
It's good to remember. It's good to remember. So that's a good new award. The
Yeah, the
old
Speckle Jim
Speckle Jim Award for the team, the driver that doesn't give up.
Yeah.
Never lays down, never taps out.
No.
Bloody love that one. Quick. I just like to throw something out there as we
Right.
are going to be heading down. I'm not sure if we've mentioned this before. We're heading down to Melbourne for the
Are we?
Melbourne Grand Prix. We're going to be in the paddock. We've got paddock passes.
Mm-hmm.
What would you, when I say you, the person who's downloaded this ill-conceived, hastily thrown together, mildly amusing podcast, what would you like us to ask the drivers? Or it doesn't have to be the drivers, anyone in the paddock. Team principals, Alain Prost. You know, bonjour monsieur, comment ça va? Je suis heureux de vous voir. And
That's your always go-to question for the French.
and we'll just see what they says.
Yeah.
Any question you'd like to throw at any of the drivers, let us know. It has to be a question. We've already got some pre-prepared,
Yes.
but please suggest, it doesn't matter how ridiculous it is, what would you like us to ask any of the drivers or team principals, and we will ask the question.
So it has to be an evergreen question. It has to be a question you can ask anyone. It can't be specific to one particular driver. It has to be a question
Yeah.
that you can ask Toto Wolff,
Yes.
Alain Prost. It could be Jean Todt.
Yep.
We've got to think
Like,
that-
who would you like to invite for a dinner party? Or
Yeah.
who would you shoot, marry, kill? Or who is the most boring person in the paddock?
Yeah.
Who is the most entertaining? Whatever it might be.
Get some
You get the
proper
gist.
questions. Yeah. So something that everyone can answer that it's not specific, and we will ask them.
We will ask those
We'll
questions.
pick out the best ones
Yep.
and ask them those questions.
Put them on the socials, on the Insta, on the face.
Yep. And we're also going to throw something else open to our dear listeners. We've had some feedback from the Foley Boys.
Oh, the Foley Boys.
Yep.
How fucking cool are the Foley
We
Boys?
like the Foley
I
Boys.
love them. I love those boys.
So we want to nicknames. We've got nicknames for drivers. Since
Yeah.
we've got a new driver with Nicholas Latifi.
Yep.
So his, I think it's like his hashtag is NL6. I thought of the nickname Anal Sex. NL6. Anal sex.
Seems better than... Yeah.
It does look like someone who would either partake or be involved with.
Yep. Or condone.
Taking.
Condone, for
Oh,
sure.
definite condoning.
Yeah, yeah. Mutually beneficial.
Yeah. Yeah, he'd be the bottom
Yeah.
for sure. So we're going to throw it open. If you have any specific ones and if we like them,
Yep. For any
We're
of the
gonna-
drivers.
yeah, any driver, if you have good nicknames for any of them,
You can rehash some old favourites if you
Yep.
like them.
yep, some of the ones from season 1 or the start of
Yep.
season 2, if you
Yep.
have any particular favourites you think, no, this encapsulates this person more,
Yes.
send it on into us on Twitter.
Can you
Instagram.
just recap very quickly a couple of your favourites of all time, Luke, of your nicknames?
Oh, well,
Mr. Personality.
the
Dan
personality,
Ricciardo.
Daniel Ricciardo, the douche canoe,
The douche canoes are great.
Lewis
one.
Hamilton.
Lewis Hamilton.
Fuck you, Bottas.
Nice.
It could be, Kimi Raikkonen's last year.
What was
maybe
Sebastian's?
his last lap? Fingerboy
Fingerboy.
Fingerboy Vettel.
We could do better.
Yeah. So and you could do better.
Absolutely.
Let us know.
Let us know.
Hit us up on the socials. Let us know if you think that you could chuck in a name, and if we like it, we'll bring it in as well.
Yep.
We are open to your suggestions. How's that brownie?
I love it. It's delicious. Did you make this brownie?
Yeah, I did.
Amazing.
I whittled it from Pete's former turd.
This is not the Turd Championship,
That's what you're eating.
is it? One of Pete's.
That's corn.
That's
That's not white choc chips. That's corn.
one of Pete's specials.
Your mum's not cooking. She's back on the coast though.
I know it's. You know what? I know it's poo now that you mentioned it, but it's sweet. You've added some sugar.
Of course, sugar and butter.
The sweet corn was a giveaway.
Yeah,
I should have known that. But
corn's not great with chocolate.
you know what? Oh, anyway, that's pretty good. That's some nice shit.
You're welcome.
Yummy. Well, I'm very excited.
I am.
Let's get together. Let's do this again, Luke.
We should. It's been a while. Thanks for listening, everyone. Sorry it's been a while, but we've both got lives outside of F1. But now F1's back.
We're back, baby.
We are.
We're switched on.
Back.
We're back. We're back. What are we?
We're
We're making Formula One great. F1 podcast.
I
Check
can't
us
do
out.
that. That's just you.
Socials, Instagram, Facebook. Questions. Let us know what you want to
Twitter.
ask. We can ask the questions.
If
Twitter.
you want to throw in an email,
Let us
f1podcast@gmail.com.
Yep.
Let us know.
All right. Let's do this, big fella. Rock and roll.
Get it done. Dildos.
What? Can't. They'll never put that on.